Hello there guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to this 737-800 registration Golf Romeo Uniform Kilo Alpha in the Ryanair livery. We're in X-Plane 11 today and we're in the Zibo 737. We're on the ground here at Stansted on Charlie 50 right, Charlie 50 right at Stansted, and we'll be taking the 737 from Stansted to Dublin. Only a short flight. It's meant to be Stansted Prague, but the scenery for Prague decided it wasn't going to work for us today. So due to the lack of time I have to make this video, I'm just going to do a quick rotation to Dublin. Just going to do the outbound sector and then maybe do the return another day. So if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. This is my first full flight video. I do live stream. You probably recognise me from Twitch if you're from there. If not and you've just seen this channel to start with, welcome. But let's jump into the video and get things going. So we'll get to the ground power, and then the one thing I want to do actually is sort out the refueler. And for some reason Project Fly won't connect to this aircraft, which is a bit annoying, but there we go. On the emergency lights, fuel weight and balance, that needs to be in kilograms. Halogen lights. Where is the option to change? There we go. And it's hectopascals as well. And it's baro. Cool. Right, we want fuel weight and balance. So fuel that I'm going to put in. What I actually want to do is if I can call the refueler over. We can start the flight leg. Fuel that I'm going to require according to the flight plan, which I should be able to get up within Habitab actually. Fuel required for this routing. Is this the right routing? That's not the right routing. I want that one there. It's so run out of 6.2 tons. So if I put in there 6.2 tons, fuel required is 4 tons. So now if I go to ground services, I can request a fuel truck, and there he is. There, he should pump me the remaining 4 tons of fuel that I need. With the Zibo mod now, you have now got the front air stair, which I've got deployed, so the passengers can get on the plane. Right. In terms of my weather, I'm using the inbuilt weather system within X-Plane, so I need to go into the ACARS ATIS. Just get the ATIS for here to Stansted here. Right, other than that, we can set the chocks and GPU connect, which you should have been anyway. We're going to pre-plan the pushback now, so it's ready for when we depart. So the way you push off this Stansted here, because I work there IRL, you'd push the aircraft straight back, so probably about here, and then you'd pull it forward. So you do a push and pull to about there.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
So that's all that sorted. Our zero fuel weight is 60.4. So I need to just basically add a load of freight. I can't be asked to do the math because it's too early in the morning for that. 60.4, look at that, job done. It's 19 tons of payload. So we'll go up to the overhead panel and we will align the IRSs to nav on the left and the right. We will do the go through the checklists as well as, which is here. So we'll skip the preliminary flight. We'll say we've already done. We'll skip the CDU pre-flight. So we'll do the captain's pre-flight procedure. So we'll do a lights test just to make sure that there's any faulty annunciators. So if we look around, all the annunciators, everything should be lit up as they would be. All the screens are working. Everything in the overhead is lit up that should be lit up. So everything looks good. We can get rid of that and we'll do a quick test on the this, I can't remember the name of this, what this was called. It's like ADS or something like that. And they both work in both circumstances. So that's good. EFIS control panel is set. Mode control panel, we'll just say that's set. Oxygen, so you got test. It's tested once and tested twice. Oxygen works both sides. The clock is currently showing the correct time. Nozzle steering is guarded and closed. Display select panel, pass, we'll skip that. Takeoff config lights extinguished, which they are. And cabin altitude light extinguished, which it is. No dramas there. Done the lights tests. Right, you know, I'm going to leave this because half the stuff I don't know what I'm doing, so we'll skip all that stuff. We'll just go to the before start as a need be. We'll do the fire tests though, because they're always good to do. So let's just make sure that that's showing up on there. Fire overheat detected. Sweet. Fire test works alright, so then we'll go up here and we will do a stall warning. And an overspeed test as well. Sweet. Everything is good up there. So we can go to the position init of the IRS. We're at Echo Golf Sierra Sierra. We're on stand Charlie 50 right. And we're going over to Dublin. Flight number is Ryanair 299. And it's runway, I want to say 22 in use. We'll check the ATIS to see what it says. Wind is variable at 3 knots, so we'll take 22 then. Departing on the Utava 1 Sierra departure, or 1 Romeo departure, so that is, I haven't got the latest air rack for explain yet, because I'm still working out the little kicks to explain. There will be prepared videos coming, probably a lot more frequently than the explain videos, so you have to just bear with. Just a Tango 420 to Trent VOR. Then it's the UL28 airway, which takes us to Leldo, Lima Echo Lima Delta Oscar. The Mike 145 airway, which will then take us to a waypoint called Bagzo. And it's from Bagzo we pick up the star into Dublin on the Bagzo 1 kilo arrival. So that's the departure sorted. Per finite we're taking 6.2, which it knows. Zero fuel weight is as follows. So what I'm going to do actually is just get Avi tab open. Plugins. Toggle tablet. Can I downsize this a little bit? Apparently not. Okay. So done the routing. Reserves. So it's probably about 2.8 we'll round that up to. Cost index is 5. Cruising at flight level 340. We just need the top of climb performance, which should be over here. Top of climb. Okay, so it's minus 52 degrees at top of climb. Altitude, so it's 7,500 feet is the transition altitude for Stansted, and the wind is 243 at 18 knots up there. Execute that. The outside temperature is currently, we can get rid of that. It's currently 10 degrees outside, so we're 24 kd rate. We'll climb 1. And we're taking off using flap 5. Which gives us a V2 of 148 knots. And as you're heading off, the runway is 223. And initial climb will be 7,500 feet. As follows. The QNH was 983 hectopascals, so we can set that now. 983 hectopascals is set. I don't know if we're still refueling or not. No, the refueler's done his business. So we'll go ahead and we will start the APU. We can put the window heats on, probes, leave the hydraulics off for the minute. 340 is our cruise altitude. So we can put the APU bleed on. Isolation valve is open. I'll leave everything else off for the moment. Just make sure that's set to 983. It's set 3 times. I don't know what on earth that flickering is, but it's starting to really bug me. So where I work at Blue Handling, so our crew room is literally like here. That's our crew room. Hence why I've picked this stand. Okay, APUs are live, so we can put it on the buses, put the rest of the fuel pumps on. The hydraulics can now come on, your damper can come on. Put the belt signs on. We can then disconnect the chocks and the GPU. Close the doors. And then we will retract the air stair. And close the remaining door. So the doors are closed. Get rid of the air start. We don't need the air start. Better push back and we'll request it. It's already been pre-planned, so we're all good.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
So we'll go to the ground handling, get the control widget, and we will get them to get all the following vehicles to drive away. Why can't I hear the air start unit? Okay, so why is... Okay, none of the things wanted to drive away, so we'll just have to hide them. Okay, rip me. This is why I prefer fucking P3D.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
To the welcome PA. Right, before start checklist, the flight deck door is not closed and locked, so we'll close it now. Flight deck door is closed and locked, CDU display is set, M1 bugs are set, AIS bugs set, MCP is set. Pushback procedure, transponder will be off until we push back, parking brake is currently set, and then after we push back, hydraulic pumps, they're already on though, so we'll skip that. I don't like the checklists that they give you in this, I really don't like it at all. Maybe this one's slightly better.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Yeah. Okay, we can put the anti-collision light on. Start the clock and we can release the parking brake.
Starting tow, and you may start engines.
Oh, it's a pushback, but... Avitab, airport...
Alright, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Doors are already shut, you silly woman. Airport charts, and we want this one. I know where we're going anyway because I fucking work at this airport, so... Alright, so we're on the push. Engine 2 is clear to start, so we'll go ahead and start engine 2. Wait for 25% N2 and then introduce the fuel. Positive fuel flow, oil pressure is rising, EGT is rising, and we have positive M1 rotation. Starter cut out on 2. Once he starts towing me forward, then I'll start 1. Starting 1. Again, we have 25% N2 and introduce the fuel. For 25, in goes the fuel. We now have positive fuel flow, and the engine oil pressure is rising. EGT is rising, and we have positive N1 rotation on 1. When it gets about 56, N2 starter cutout should trigger.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
There's starter cutout. But that is pushback is complete, so we'll set flaps to 5. 1, 2, 5.
Stand by.
We know flaps are in the transit, flaps are on the way down. So we'll go to the overhead panel, we'll put the power onto the generator buses, turn the APU bleed off. Our installation valve can go to auto, packs can go on both sides, and we can ditch the APU. So flaps are set 5 and confirmed. We'll do a flight control check, so rudder, full left, full right, elevators full up, full down, ailerons full left and full right. Set auto brake RTO. In case of rejected takeoff, we can do flight director 1, flight director 2, VNAV, LNAV. We can now put the transponder on. 12.8 is pre-tuned.
Disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
As soon as the tug driver's out of the way, we can put the taxi light on and the radar on. Okay, so before taxi checklist, generators are on, APU's off, start switches both are continuous, probe heats are on, anti-ice is off, air conditioning is on, packs are auto, bleeds on, isolation valves auto, flaps are set 5, stab trim we need to set now, so the stab trim needs to be set to 486. It's probably about there, to be honest. Maybe a little bit of up trim as well. That's the stab trim set. Flight controls are free and correct. Recall is checked. No issues there. Wonderful. We're good to go. So we go taxi light. I missed the hand signal, but I'm assuming he gave it to me.
On the red toggle, there is a mouthpiece for further inflation or deflation and a light to attract attention.
Cool, taxi light, weather radar, and traffic. So we'll go for a nice little wing view. Release the brakes, bring a bit of power in.
Within the area you are seated. Your captain invites you to read this card carefully before departure. Please now ensure that your seatbelt is securely fastened. Tray table is in the upright and locked position. Armrests down and window blinds open. We recommend for your comfort and safety that you keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the flight. There is a call bell reading above your head. Portable electronic devices such as tablets and mobile phones in flight mode may be used throughout the flight. Please select flight mode now. Laptops must be stowed in cabin baggage under the seat in front of you or in the overhead locker for taxi, takeoff and landing. We would like to remind you that smoking is not permitted. Thank you for your attention. Please sit back, relax and enjoy your flight.
Veering off a little bit because I'm distracted by the amazing wing view of the Zibo. So we're going to link Charlie, Sierra 1, full length departure runway 22. Flight time today of an hour spot on, so we're going to see if we can get there a little bit quicker. If not, Ryanair will make up for it once they've landed. Rest assured. Okay, lights on. Strobes. Cabin crew, to departure, please. Auto thrust on. We'll start the clock. 22's verified. One final recall. Recall is checked. So we'll line up. Keep it rolling. Alright. 40% M1. Stable Toga. N1 heading select, heading Toga. Rust is set. Airspeed alive.
knots.
Check.
V1 rotate.
Rotate. V2.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Into the murky skies above Britain.
400.
N1 VNAV speed.
$1,000.
Checked. Climb thrust. Okay, so we'll arm command A. Gear up and off, auto brake set to off. 7500 is set. We do have altitude constraints, but we're going to altitude intervene all of them. And we're going to bug up to 340. And altitude intervene it a few more times. So the speed is rising, so we can go ahead and put the flaps up to flap 1. Flaps up. Passing 4,500 feet, speed 250. We're following the star. Trait the SID. Quite nicely. We've got a cloud layer just above us there. Maybe we'll be breaking through that in no time at all. I'm just going to see if I can see the wing. What the hell is stopping me from getting over there? Oh, I hate X-Plane's camera that you can't go through objects. It really triggers the hell out of me. About to pass 7,000 feet, so that's 500 feet to go until transition. Okay, transition level, set standard. It's set once, set twice. Set 3 times. And confirmed and cross-checked, passing 9,000 feet. Well, as a departure at London Stansted, we're just about to pass 10,000 feet, so we're going to go ahead and switch seatbelt signs off. And we're going to go and bring back the lights as well. Condition switches back to auto. Well, that was a full departure at London Stansted. We're now climbing nicely up towards cruise altitude. So I'll do the usual, as every flight simulator does, give you some nice views to look at. Maybe some nice music or a time lapse. See how I feel. And then I'll join you at top of descent once more before we program the arrival into Dublin and start our descent. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you in a few minutes. A few minutes video time and about 45 minutes real time. So yes, enjoy some lovely views, some lovely music and some time lapses, and I will see you when we hit top of descent.
Keep your seatbelt securely fastened throughout your flight. There is a call bell, reading light, and fresh air vent in the panel just above your head, and we'd like to remind you that this is a strictly non-smoking flight, and all toilets are fitted with smoke detectors. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight with us.
Okay then guys, welcome back. We're 40 miles from top of descent. Now's probably a good time to start programming the descent and approach into Dublin. So if you look on the map, we're just south of Manchester, about to go over to the east of Warrington before we just pass over the top of Liverpool and head out over the Irish Sea towards Dublin. Now, if we go to Avitab and charts and look at the routing, it says somewhere the arrival is the Bagso 1 kilo ILS 34, so I'm just going to confirm that of the ATIS at Dublin. I just want to know what runway they're using. So we'll just get my FPS has suddenly gone to shit up at cruise. Holy shit. So it'll be arrival. Bags are 1 kilo. And then we just need a runway. Currently got 4.4 tons of fuel, and we're expected to land with 3.9, and our reserve is 2.9, which is cool. So. As soon as the VHF gives me a runway, wind 0105 knots. So 0105. Yeah, I suppose 3-4. There is no ILS for 3-4, but there is an RNAV. So. Rip me, I've got to try and remember how to fly an RNAV approach. Using reserve fuel. Well, yeah, fucking shouldn't be. Let's just step through this flight plan. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll program all this stuff as well. So the course is there. Glide slope is off because it's an RNAV. But 339 is the course. So we'll set 339. Set once. Oh shit. Set twice. I believe that's all you have to do for an RNAV. I think you just keep it in VNAV mode. There is no glide slope or localizers. If I hit arm approach mode, it says VOR glide path, but it shouldn't be because it's not on ILS. There is no VOR. Well, I should probably research how to do a VOR, how to fly an RNAV approach. So that's pretty much the aircraft set up, ready for a descent and arrival into Dublin. So I'll get back to you when we're sort of up with the descent. See you in a bit. Hello then guys, so you join me back at the flight deck. 15,000 feet on the descent. Now I roughly know how to fly an RNAV now. I've brushed myself up on what to do. So I need to get the minimums for Dublin. So EIDW, select, charts, arrival, it'll be approach, RNAV 28, no, RNAV 34, there we go. Okay, that's all good to me. Refer to minimums. The minimums will be. It's not low visibility, so 500. So we'll set 550. So 500. It'll be 550 feet. So say 600 that we can. That's gonna sort of be our VNAV profile for it to descend on. So now the altitude is set to 600 feet. It should descend on the VNAV path. So 540 is our minimum, so we can set that. Just set 540. .540 is set, so it'll be auto brake 2. Keep an eye on the spoilers. We'll get the cabin prepped early, so we'll put the Zibo signs on. Lights and condition switches to continuous. Bring the spoilers out to help us reduce the speed. We'll do speed intervene. Hopefully it should stay on VNAV path. I think you got to deploy flaps and it should stay on VNAV path. QNH on the ground we said was 984, and the weather's not great either, so we'll just get ready there. Do some tannoys.
Cabin crew, seats for landing, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to land in approximately 10 minutes, please ensure once again that all seatbelts are fastened, laptop computer.
So the aircraft is sticking to the VNAV path quite nicely. Everything is set as it needs to be. So flap 1 is 250 knots, so I'm going to set flap 1. I'm then going to speed intervene as well. And bring the speed back to 190 knots. Hopefully the aircraft will be able to slow itself down. Speed is coming back through 220 knots. Very cool. So we'll set 984. set once, twice, cross-checked. Checked passing 6,500 feet. Bring the spoilers back and arm them. We'll now get the charts for taxiing up. It'll be airport taxi charts. There we go. Elevation is 202, so we'll set that now. So speed is holding steady at 19 knots. We are descending on the VNAV path, but sticking to the VNAV path needle, which is what we want. Visibility is not looking great, so probably gonna have to hold it in autopilot until probably minimums, to be honest. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce 180 knots and then chuck flap 2 out. Just so we're configured nice and early, just in case. And I will do some replays after landing to end the video. You guys can watch some replays of my be it good or bad landing. Here comes the rain. Flat 5. Runway is currently not in sight. Got the power plant just in front of us there. I think the rain has actually stopped now. There's only a little dribble.
2,500.
There's 2,500 feet. Not sure if the runway is out there or not. I believe it should be right in front of us. Oh yeah, I can just make it out. That's cool. We will reduce 160 knots. We'll go gear down. Flap 10. And then flap 15. And we'll go ahead and reduce 141 for the VREF. Flap 30. Flap 40. Auto thrust off. I am visual just about, so autopilot can come off as well. Checked.
1,000 feet, stabilized, missed approach altitude set.
I mean, missed approach isn't set, but whatever. It is now. So with visual, I can see the power beats, 2 whites, 2 reds. Speed is good. On red 3 whites, correcting.
500. Approaching minimums. 400. Minimums.
We are continuing.
300.
I'm sort of on it. I don't understand why I got 4 whites.
200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Flare. Reverses.
knots.
Reverses stowed. Manual brakes. So we can get rid of the spoiler. Reset that. Flight director's off. Start the APU. Welcome to Dublin, 55 minutes. So we're 5 minutes ahead of schedule. We'll go and park up next to our company aircraft. Frame rates are appalling here in Dublin for X-Plane. any left for me to park next to the company aircraft? I'll go over to these two over here. APU's on, so I'll put it on the gens. Taxi light off. (109) left, confirmed. Oh yeah, a bit further. Come on. That'll do us. Plug and accept. Cut off 1 and cut off 2. So we can put GPU on, disconnect that, anti-collision light off. We can stop the other clock, hour and 6 from gate to gate. Extend the air stairs. Okay, let's go ground handling, control, and we will have well, welcome to Dublin. Next to our fellow company aircraft. Just waiting for the steps to get put on. We can open up some. So I'll open up the aft entry and the cargo doors. Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for watching this first video of mine. Stansted Dublin full flight, 55 minutes. Lovely and short. Sorry about the poor performance here in Dublin. That's just I have to tweak my X-plane a little bit and see if we can't get the performance working perfectly for next time. Well, thank you for tuning in for this X-plane 11 flight. Next up will be a P3D video. Try and alternate it between the two as much as I can. Thanks all for joining in. I'll leave you with some replays of the landing from wing view and plane spotter view, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching and catch you next time.